Hi there, my name is Toby and this is JEDI Training, and today I want to talk about proof, evidence. Is there evidence of the Force? Do we have the Force? And I've talked about it multiple times. I said, yeah, we do, but it's very, very slight. Is there anyone that has managed to get this to a high level? So you remember the Jedi, or the Sith even, they have electricity. So the highest level is electricity, creating electricity. And this I believe is true, and that's what I'm saying here. We can feel it, we can create electromagnetism, just a little bit to feel it. But some masters can do this quite powerfully. And there is a video of an old video of the 80s or 90s, and I'll leave the link below to that video of a real Chia master, and he's doing that, producing electricity. And it's done with scientists, so you can see this. I think this is one of the very rare real videos of someone demonstrating Chia or demonstrating the Force. Now, before I show you some of the clips of that video, let me just explain it to you how it works. You see, the Force, the Chia or the ether, that is unmanifest. That is spiritual. That is not detectable. You cannot detect Chia or the Force directly. It's the mind power. But the mind power, when focused, when intention focuses strongly enough, then that will create a disturbance. A disturbance in the Force creates electromagnetism, or rather, a disturbance in the Force is electromagnetism. So when you can create a strong enough disturbance in the Force, you'll get a spark, you'll get electromagnetism. So this is how it actually works. Now, the thing is, that's all you can do. That's all you can do is create electromagnetism, because that's the only force that there is. I talk about it on ether physics on this channel, but the Force, the ether, the Chia is unmanifest, and that is everything. The whole universe is made of the Force. Everything is the Force. But when the Force gets together, focused, and a disturbance is created, now you get manifestation. Energy comes out. And that energy is electromagnetism. We can feel it in our body. That we can all do. We can actually start feeling electricity, things moving in the body. And at a very high level, you can project it, and you can feel that projection. And at a very high level, you might get a spark. You might get a spark. Now you're moving towards a Jedi. But it's very, very difficult. Years and years of meditation, Chia practice. You've got to have a strong, healthy body. You've got to have done meditation for so long. And at that level, you're also very spiritual. Very spiritual. You've got a lot of connection to the Force. So you will have a lot of spiritual experiences. The spirit world will also be real to you. And if you listen to this whole video, you'll listen to the stories of this guy. Now, the trouble is, he does several things. He does electricity, so you can see that. That is definitely real. Definitely real. And there's scientists have been watching him in this video. And then he also does something else. He creates fire. Screwed up a bit of paper and creates fire. Now, that is difficult because that could be a trick. It's quite an easy trick. And I believe a lot of times we see that it's not real. Not real. That's very difficult. Now, for that to be real, what he has to do is create, again, electromagnetism, which is light, but it would have to be infrared light. Very, very low frequency light that creates heat. So he'd have to create a lot of heat, and he's got to reach whatever the ignition temperature of paper is. So that one, and that could be a trick. That could be a trick. You have some chemical reaction in the paper and give it a few moments and it will ignite. And also he does another one where he shoots an air rifle. Shoots an air rifle into his palm, into the palm of his hand. He catches the bullet. Now again, that's a trick. We know that is a trick. But I think in this case it's real. There are scientists there in the room. We must assume that they've looked properly. But again, it's only an air rifle. It's not a real gun. Only an air rifle, so it's not so powerful. A small bullet, a small pellet, which is metal. But in order for him to do that, he has to create a magnetic field. So he would have to have a very powerful magnetic field in his hand, and that would decelerate the bullet. So that's how that could be done. So I believe that could be real. So you have electricity and magnetism. Now, creating fire, there is no such thing as creating fire. Fire is still an effect of electromagnetism, a chemical effect, but chemistry is also electromagnetism. Everything is electromagnetism. But if you could create infrared radiation as so powerful that you could reach the ignition temperature of paper, then maybe that could be true. Maybe that could be true. I'm not sure about the fire, but check out this video. You see, it's very, I think it's one of the few genuine ones out there. A lot of fake ones, majority are fake. You know, majority are fake. In this day and age, it's difficult to have a master at that level because the atmosphere, the earth, we're not living in nature. You've got to live naturally to get that power. You have to practice every day. Your diet has got to be good. Good air, good chi, and every day, years of practice. And you have to know internal circulations of energy. So I talk about it. There's three circulatings. You circulate up and down, round and round this way, and also like the chakras in a clock face. So these are the internal meditations to feel the energy and build them up, build them up. But again, he talks about it. He says he gets the yang chi, the yin chi, brings them together, and then he creates electricity. So that means the yang chi is electricity, the yin chi is magnetism. And when you bring electricity and magnetism together inside a medium, we call that electricity. So the combination of electrostatics and magnetism flowing through a medium is electricity. So that's what he's doing, creating a combination of electricity, magnetism, and passing it through a body for healing. But I thoroughly recommend you look at the whole video. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. And I'll just take you through some clips now. So here's the guy here. He's in Indonesia. And of course, he's a doctor doing medicine, putting chi through the acupuncture points. And you can see it's real electricity. And sometimes he put the electric current through the needles. And you can see how it stimulates the muscles. The muscles are actually twitching, moving, because it's a real electric shock. Real electricity passing through. And someone has to ground them. He always has to have someone holding the feet to ground the electricity. There you can see the twitch. Sometimes very dramatic. And here is meditation. Look at the posture. Tall spine, belly in, shoulders up and back, rib cage open a bit, expanded. See, again, a natural spine. And this is one of the Westerners here being treated. And even for this guy, you can see how his hands are moving, twitching. So let's see what this guy has got to say about how he does it.
Yin yang, positive and negative, you know, and my positive from here and my negative from here, and we meet together, this can get like electricity.
And is this because you're special? You have a special sort of
It's called meditation every day.
It's meditation that does it.
Meditation every day. Like you can touch me like this. It's nothing, okay? It's my burn. No, it's just like this.
So he's saying the positive comes from his navel chakra, his higher up, and his negative comes from his perineum between his legs. And between there in the belly is the dantian. This is the place where the energy builds up. So magnetism and electricity, electrostatics combine in his belly. Now here he's doing the fire. So he's taken a bit of paper, screwed it up. Now again, I'm not sure about this, could be a trick. You just need some chemistry in the paper and it will ignite as a fire. But it looks quite convincing what he's doing. It looks quite convincing. But really, what you've got to do, he's got to project heat onto an infrared heat detector. So we can actually measure it, measure the heat going up. That would have been a much better experiment than doing this. See, a lot of these guys do a mixture. They've got real chi, but they also do some trickery. And I know some of these trickeries as well. And one day I'm going to talk about the trickeries. The tricks that can be done with the chi, make it look a bit more powerful than it really is. But there is only electricity, only electromagnetism, nothing else. There's no other mysterious force. There's one force, the chi, and that chi can produce electromagnetism, and you can play with that a little bit. You can have electricity and you can have magnetism. There's no such thing as fire. There's not a thing called fire. There's only infrared radiation, which is still electromagnetism. So if he could do that, then maybe he could produce fire. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. He does something else later on, pushing a chopstick through the table. So you have to watch the whole video to see that. And again, that I'm not sure. That I think could be a trick. I can't see any way that you could actually push wood through wood. There's no way of softening matter so that one pushes through the other. There's no mysterious force. The mysterious force is not physical. It cannot be detected physically at all. It has no physical effect. The only physical effect is electromagnetism. Now here he's shooting the air rifle. You can see it shoots there now. Again, I think this is real. He's capturing the bullet in his hand, a little pellet. So it's not a real gun. It's not that powerful, but nevertheless, he managed to capture the bullet. And that could be done decelerated with a magnetic field. So that, I think, could be real. Now here again, you watch him shocking. Now these are the scientists. This guy is an actual scientist, a skeptic. So he managed to convince these guys. And here we've got an LED. So they tried a few experiments to work out how he could actually pass electricity through. And he worked out one person holds it and he has to hold the other side. So one person is the ground and then he can pump it. Look, turn it on and off, turn it on and off. He's controlling that. On, off, on, off. He's controlling the flow of electricity. And that, I think, is perfectly real. So do check out the video. Look at the whole thing. It's a very interesting story. And think about it yourself. Again, could be real. Some could be tricks. But the electricity, I think, is definitely real. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out the whole of my JEDI series. And I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.